what I like about this is there's a way, and I'm not in favor of like dual quarterbacks, but there's a way of a totally different situation. But like when New Orleans had Drew Brees and then they had Taysom Hill, Taysom Hill is a huge guy that could run and he also could throw. But Kyler to me would present packages where you could have Kyler Murray in the red zone. There's a lot you could do with having Kyler Murray and maybe still bring JJ along and don't just throw him in the trash.
Conventional wisdom is that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you will, is that KO prefers a pocket passer, but he certainly wants the guy to have some escapability as well, right? I mean, that's what he's looking for. But he prefers a pocket passer overall. Is that true or not?
I don't see KO or any good coach being a limited himself. I don't think anybody in today's NFL would say I'm married. I am only hooked to a pocket passer because there aren't a lot of them, and the ones that aren't, the ones that can move are the ones that are doing the most damage in the league right now. And JJ's not. I mean, JJ can get out and move.
Yep.
You worry about it because he gets hurt so much, but JJ McCarthy, one of his strengths right now is his ability to run for a first down. So. Right. I would not call JJ McCarthy a pocket passer, and they drafted him 10th overall. So, I don't personally think. I think that's made up. I don't see him as KO's a pocket passer guy. I don't see that.
Well, yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, they drafted McCarthy with his mobility in mind because they did have Cousins who didn't have any, and they probably saw.
And if you're a pocket passer, if you're only a pocket passer, Kyler Murray might be the last guy in the world. Tua and Kyler Murray would be the last two quarterbacks you would want to even look at.
Good point. Okay, well, on that note, let's take a quick break. We want to come back and talk a little bit more about some of the other stuff going on out at TCO. Who's coming? Who's going? Who's staying? Who's playing? So. We'll do that. So come on back to Vikings Territory Breakdown. Okay, folks, welcome back to Vikings Territory Breakdown with Mark Craig from the Star Tribune. Mark, the Vikings didn't do a whole heck of a lot. They, as we talked in the first segment, they certainly filled their biggest need, I think, with backup quarterback. And they signed a cornerback and, they also signed a punter, but they didn't do a whole heck of a lot because the money dictated. But critics and fans aren't exactly happy with them. They're probably expecting more. What are your thoughts on?
Well, yeah, I tell the critics to go way, way back in history to last year, and how much we were celebrating when they were spending $50 million every other day, and what that got them. I mean, you were spending money on, old defensive tackles, old linemen, old centers with 3 concussions. Now, if we were to play this clip alongside, me taking the cheese too last year and saying, this is they're doing, I was on board with a lot of that stuff. The quick fix typically never doesn't work in the NFL. So the Vikings have reached a point, where there may well be